Good morning and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. This show airs each weekday morning, hella early at 4:45 a.m. right about now here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, and then 4:45 p.m. On Facebook Live. Today we're talking about a really powerful and interesting topic: emotions and productivity. All right. If you're new to the show, you can go to productivethroughjoy.com. We speak to groups and organizations about being productive through joy. We also, of course, offer live one-on-one Productive Through Joy consulting to entrepreneurs primarily. You can also hit the subscribe button right here to get all these videos for free. I did say free, 1, 2, 3, 4, free. Again, today we're talking about emotions and productivity. And also, of course, please swipe left or right across your device to invite people to join the conversation. And thanks for being here. Let's dive in. Again, for those of you who are new, let me say a few words about myself. This is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. I am the author of the New York Times bestseller, Raising Fences, which was a Today Show Book of the Month pick. That book's film rights were optioned by the actor Will Smith, whose people called my people, and I eventually agreed, let me clear my throat, to write the screenplay for that particular project. I am also the author of the acclaimed historical novel, Americus, which is set 13 miles from Ferguson, where, of course, Michael Brown was murdered in the conflagration that initially ensued there as well. That book is about identical twin sons, one of whom gets vitiligo, the so-called Michael Jackson disease, and a whole series of interesting things emerged from that particular situation. That book will be out actually May the 14th, so look for that in bookstores everywhere. I'll be on a book tour, so look for me coming to a town near you. Start looking for me on social media as well. Also, you can just go to the website, michaeldatcher.com. We'll start posting those events this week around the country. So look for that as well. I am also the former executive director of the World Stage, a literary and jazz venue here in California. My educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergraduate. My master's is from UCLA, and my PhD in English literature is from the University of California at Riverside. I am currently a professor of English literature at Loyola Marymount University here in Los Angeles. I am an expert at being productive. All right, I don't say that to brag or boast, but people are oftentimes surprised at my level of productivity, given how crazy my own personal narrative is. I am the product of a young girl who was raped at 16, gave birth to me at 17. Then subsequently gave me up for adoption to a wonderful single divorcee. So at the time, no biological father, no adopted father. So at the time, listen, difficult times for the young MD, despite my adopted mother's amazingness, just difficult times for the young MD. Yet, as Kool Modi famously said, how you like me now? And if I can be this productive through joy, so can many of us who are watching this show as we speak. All right. So that in many ways inspires this business, inspires our show, certainly inspires me to help those who are coming from a similar space, whose backgrounds have been challenging, and who are looking to make a change in their lives. So again, go to productivethroughjoy.com. Also, simply hit the subscribe button here, become a subscriber, and get down with the team. All right. Let's dive in. So today we're talking about emotions and productivity. In the morning show, we like to also touch on the idea of framing your day before your day has a chance to frame you. As we know, at times we'll wake up with trouble on our mind. It will follow us throughout our day, give us a little anxiety. And you know how that can be early in the morning when your days start like that. And then my day began that way in kind of an odd way this morning. And so when that happens, because it happens to me still, it happens to all of us, you have to have, you don't have to, but we help people learn how to have a series of technologies that can help us negotiate through those situations, right? You don't want to have those types of mornings that follow you throughout your day and become a series of days or become a week. Because the stress that's tethered to anxiety is a killer. It takes years off your life. It demotivates you, it makes you less effective, and certainly less productive. So we know that's a major issue for many people. We help people to deal just with that issue, for example. in the context of a ritual. Ritual can be defined as doing basically the same thing at around the same time. Let me give you a brief example because it's best seen through example. So the mornings I wake up at, by giving my own personal morning ritual. In the morning I wake up at 3:30 a.m. 3:30 a.m. including this morning. I read a couple of spiritual or business books. I do our morning show right now at 4:45 a.m. At 5 I work on my current book until sunrise. At around sunrise I go to the beach. I live here along the coast in Venice Beach, California. I meditate, I pray, do yoga. I come back here. I can bring my drum out there. I drum. It's really powerful. I come out, I come back to the house. I work on my book a while longer until, and then go back out to the beach to run up the coast all the way past Santa Monica's Pier, all the way back here to Venice to go to the gym, to get my buff on here to go to the gym. And we're not saying do what I do. We help people do what they do and what they could be doing to create a morning ritual that you can, in the morning, get yourself strong and prepared for, to go out and do what needs to be done in an excited way, in a confident way. But then throughout the day, be able to tap back into that power. So, for example, I extract some wisdom from the books I'm reading now. I'm reading 3 books. I'm reading a book called Cash in a Flash, which is a book that kind of combines spirituality, bam, with entrepreneurial exploits. I'm reading a book called Owning the Moment, which is a book about just that, owning the moment, also from a spiritual perspective. And then I'm also reading a book called The Nag Hammadi Library or Reader, which is a compendium of 2nd century Gnostic texts or Gnosis texts, which look at like the early version of Christianity, or not just that, but like the early part of it. I'm reading the part now that does the early part, the OG, the original Jesus. My friend D Black, before he passed, would always say, "Man, people always lying on Jesus," which is true. So as you read the earlier texts, the texts that predate the Foursquare Gospel text about Jesus, I mean, it's pretty powerful. You see more of his kind of mystical, meditative, Gnostic, traditional Gnostic approach to everything. It's very, very inspiring. Anyway, so from those books, I don't want to get too far afield into that. But I read those 3 books right now, and then as I read them, of course, I replace them with new books. But I extract some wisdom from those books and the books I'm reading, and I call this extracted wisdom the morning chant. So today's morning chant is as a meditating natural mystic, my emotions attract the abundance that I seek for me, my family, and my community. My emotions attract the abundance I seek for me, my family, and my community. Right. So I think about that throughout my day. I contemplate that idea and also create the morning and afternoon shows based upon that very idea. So that's our morning chant today. So today we're talking about emotions and productivity. Again, if you're enjoying the show, please invite people to join the conversation and go to productivethroughjoy.com. Let's start. So point 1 is, in business, people oftentimes say you can't lead with emotion. You have to lead with a logical point of view. That's true to a certain extent, but you also hear people saying trust your gut feeling. Those feelings are emotions. Emotions, guys, are one of the absolute keys to abundance, to success. The thing is to cultivate a relationship that's healthy with your emotions, right? And so point 1 is that we all have emotions, and that's a very, very powerful source of manifestation, which goes right into point 2. What you focus your emotion, your mental, your mind, when you attach a thought, your mental aspect of who you are to emotion, that thing is going to be attracted, whether it's a so-called good thing or a bad thing. So it's good to be able to watch your mind, and as opposed to dreading what you don't want, as many people do, you want to be excited about what you do want, which goes into point 3. Right into point 3, as you are excited, as you have an emotion, excitement, and joy attached to what you want for your life, whether it's to be a better father, mother, sister, to be more abundant financially, that's how that thing begins to manifest. Boom, goes the dynamite. That's it for today's show. We air each weekday morning. Look for us. Go to productivethroughjoy.com. We'll see you this afternoon at 4:45 p.m. Until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces.